Hello and welcome to the Count Stackula YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. Today, we're going to be talking about Una and the Lion and all the hype surrounding some of the coins in this series and the various series that have spawned or spinned off from it. Let's get into it. All right, so as we are talking about Una and the Lion, it's probably appropriate to do a just brief history lesson. And this design out of the Royal Mint started in 1839. William Wyan was the engraver. And so to commemorate the 175-year anniversary of the coin, or the engraver, they decided to come out with the Great Engravers series that you're seeing before you. They came out with them in 2-ounce silver and as well as 2-ounce gold and a few other larger sizes that are really unobtainium because of their low mintage. So they only minted 3,000 of these coins, and so they really created a lot of demand in 2019 when the coin was released, especially in the UK. Not so much in the United States. Most people didn't really, follow this type of stuff here in the States, but it was definitely a big release out of the UK. So we'll just briefly flip through some of this, which I find is interesting. The original design includes some Latin text, which means, I'm not going to try to butcher it, but Dira he deus gracis, may God direct my steps, is the direct translation. And there's the original design. Beautiful design of Britannia with the lion. And it goes on to discuss some of these other releases in the history of these, the engraver that created them. So fantastic little booklet, but let's get down to the coin. This is the first in the series, and yes, it is awesome. Apologies for my dirty capsule, but here it is. Let's take a closer look. With these older Royal Mint capsules, you twist them off, which I guess is kind of convenient. Got to watch a reflection here, but it's an absolutely stunning mirror-like finish and frosted devices, with paying homage to the original design by essentially duplicating it exactly, with the exception of the year and the Roman numerals. But yeah, it's a very beautiful design. So it definitely did well in the secondary market. These coins initially could be purchased for, I think, close to $300-400, maybe $200 right out the bat, but then were later quickly rose in price dramatically. Mine is maybe not the best example. I did not send this in for grading. However, coins that were sent in for grading that did receive the perfect 70 Ultra Cameo designation definitely sold for incredible amounts of money. We're talking in the thousands, tens of thousands even initially. The prices have come down quite a bit on this coin since 2019, 2020, when the boom was really happening with this. But it can still be picked up for close to $2,500 is the average going rate at auction for a raw piece like this. So I'm actually selling this because I was one of the lucky ones, I guess. Bought it cheap at an early entry price in 2019, and yeah, so If anybody's interested, links are down in the description. My COA is number, let's get it out. I can't remember what number it is. These things are always so hard to get out. Okay, there we go. 2466. So like I said, one of 3,000. And it is a proof coin out of the Royal Mint. So fantastic little coin, and the gold is even more impressive. But what is more impressive actually is what this coin release did for the hype around these Una and the Lion coins that were released also at the same time. There were a few other versions in both BU and proof. We're not going to go over all of them, but like there was a British Virgin Islands version, and I had both the 1 ounce and the 2 ounce in those. Can't show them to you now because I cashed in on some of those profits already. They also went up pretty dramatically compared to you know, normal bullion prices, which is what you could have bought them for in 2019, 2020. But now they're going for significantly more. But again, prices have pulled back just slightly on those coins. But I do recall I got them graded before I sold them. That definitely helped with the pricing, because I did get a couple of 69s, I think, and they each sold. I think the 2 ounce sold for something like $350, and the 1 ounce sold for maybe 200. So that was awesome, and I got a good deal, I guess, on that. But you know, it just goes to show you, when you get the opportunity to cash in on a real good find like this, you should not hesitate and not be too attached to the coin. So that was a win for me. But when I was just starting out collecting back in 2019, I got knee deep into this hype with the Una and the Lion series. Not that it was a bad thing, but I did end up overpaying on another coin we're gonna look at here, and that is the Alderney quarter sovereign, which also depicts the same image of the William Wyan Una and the Lion, but it's just an extremely small piece of gold, and it has a little bit different effigy of the Queen, and it is about a 1.5 grams, more or less, of gold. So I like that about it, but I grossly overpaid for this and didn't realize it, because I actually thought I was buying a 1/4 ounce at the time, because I didn't know what the hell a quarter sovereign was. And yeah, at that time I paid 1/4 ounce prices for gold, thinking I'm getting a 1/4 ounce, and so I just kept it. I was a little disappointed with that. I felt like maybe I got burned, but actually it was my lack of knowledge within the industry, not knowing that a 1/4 sovereign is not equal to a 1/4 ounce, because a sovereign is much smaller. Actually, one sovereign is basically a 1/4 ounce. So if you have a 1/4 sovereign, then you have a 1/4 of a 1/4 of an ounce. Anyway, let's move on. There were some other series that were released by different mints, notably the East India Company. And we're gonna get right into those. East India Company released these Una and the Lion. Now these came way later. These are actually the Masterpiece collection of the Una and the Lion series. And so they basically did the same thing as the original Royal Mint, but they put it in a 1 ounce format. And again, it is another low mintage proof coin, but the year is, I believe, it's a 2020 or 2021. I haven't gotten them graded. I did pick up kind of a fat stack of those, just because I figured, you know, they're gonna do well. It might take some time, but they're gonna do really well in the secondary market, and I've been rewarded before But I think the mintage on these is actually 2000. Correct, yes, 2000, as you can see there. So I picked up a few of them, and I'm sure not all of them have milk spotted. Yeah, so I knew that there was one in particular that had showing signs of milk spotting, but not all of them. So they are really awesome looking coins, and I just, they were definitely overpriced. But if you think about it, they do have some historical significance, being a 175-year-old design that they're restriking, and it's probably going to do well over time. So I picked up a bunch. Eventually, I may get them graded. I may get them flipped. But in addition to all the original designs, the East India Company decided that they were going to go ahead and release a modernized version in a new Bullion series that you're looking at right now in 2020. This is the Una and the Lion, a refresher, or we'll call it a modern reinvention of the original, which was actually pretty good. I liked this design, and I liked it enough to buy a whole bunch, but also I could tell that it was going to do well just because of the hype surrounding this series. And it did have a very low mintage for a bullion coin, I believe of only 5,000. The unfortunate thing with these is that they do have condition issues. Many of them do milk up, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But I guess if you're a flipper, your strategy is to get them and sell them quick. For me, I like to hold on to things and see where they go, milk spots or not, and just let my winners ride, if you will, like in the stock market. But so far that strategy's worked out okay for me. Sometimes you miss out on the hype, though, to be honest. I picked up a pack of I think these come in tubes of 18, actually, instead of the normal 20. So I picked up a pack of 18. I may have more than that. I'm not sure, because it's been a while since I bought them. I'm not gonna take a look at all of them, but I had enough of them that I felt like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna play with some of them. And so what I did was, for a few extras that I had, I went ahead and antiqued a couple. So let's take a look at some of those. So this was my first antiqued attempt, and I think I hit it out of the ballpark. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of blues in it, and greens, and you look at the business end and you see how it's almost like highlighting the design. I really liked how this came out, and I was just like, yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm not putting it any longer to change it. So yeah, I like all those purples and those blues, and I just think it's a dope design. So I left it that way, and yeah, as you can see, it's beautiful. So that's one of them that I decided to play with, have a little fun with. I did another one in an antique finish. Let's take a look at that. This one is more traditional antique finish. And obviously, when you're going to play around with your coins, you want to pick the ones that, especially if you're antiquing, you want to pick the ones that maybe have the most milk spots going on already. So, because if you're going to antique something, you're altering the finish, you're definitely not going to be able to get this graded in the future. It will come back artificially toned or damaged, or whatever they call it. But questionable color, artificially toned, most likely, or they won't even grade it at all in certain cases. So you kind of commit to a certain fate when you do antique a coin and there's no going back. So what I did for this was I set it in the antiquing liquid, the sulfur, for extra long time, and then I took a sponge with a like, I think it's a Wright's silver cream, and my little rotary sponge tool, and I kind of buffed it to give it that shine that you're seeing. So it's got like a bluish and a shine to it. So it's beautiful. I like it. I'm glad I did it. It's just a cool example, you know. And then I went ahead and did one more, and I did this with the 24 karat gold plating, which is something I experiment with frequently, and I enjoy the experience because, you know, you can come out with something that really looks cool. It definitely looks like a 1 ounce gold coin. And they did make these in 1 ounce gold, but they were extremely low mintage. I don't know if they were proof coins or not, but they were a ridiculously priced coin, like, I don't know, 5 grand, 5,000 pounds, something like that. Something huge out the bat, but you know, here's a nice, easy, cheap way to get yourself that gold looking 1 ounce without having to lay out a whole bunch of money. After all, it's all about you know, the look, right? Yeah, I just don't have room on the table for all this stuff, but there you go. So those are just a few of the a few of the Luna and the Lion coins that I played with. Now the series continued, and apparently it's ongoing. I don't know when they're going to stop it, but I know that they have plans for more. Here's the second in that series, the 2021, which many people kind of had mixed feelings about, and myself included. They changed the finish slightly compared to the original. As you can see, it's more of a matted finish, whereas here is more of a mirrored type finish, but like a kind of a low quality mirror finish. And the design, the muscles of the tiger are pretty cool. He looks a little bit more ferocious, and the Britannia definitely looks a little bit more witch-like with all those ribbons flying, which I guess is kind of cool. So, but yeah, as you can see, it's kind of like a mirror-like finish on the obverse. These are St. Helena country of issue coins, and yeah, let's move on to the third in the series. And for the third in the series, they kind of went back to the more matte business strike type finish, and they really went a little bit, I don't know how to describe this type of design, but they're giving her some sort of like enlightenment rays, I guess, the Britannia, and you know, just gobs of embellishment along the top rim of the design, and the tiger standing proud, looking right in the eye of Britannia. And you know, it's a nice design. I didn't dislike it. I think it's fine for the series, and they, you know, remain consistent here again with the matted finish of the third release. The fourth release, however, I did see pictures, and because you can go to the East India Company and see if you'd like to check out some of the new coins that are going to come out. And yeah, I'm not too fond of it. Maybe I'll stick it into the video right here so you can see what I'm talking about. But let's go into more detail about some of these East India releases. So they do proof coins, and for each of the Bullion series. Here's the second. I never got the first, and I'm not even really collecting this, but I did buy this to flip it, and I did grade it myself. Of course, I looked over it very carefully before sending it into NGC to make sure that I was going to get the Proof 70 Ultra Cameo when I did, because these definitely sell for quite of a premium above what you could buy them for, but they are expensive. They are expensive coins right off the bat. So this is available on eBay, on my eBay store. Links in the description. If you're interested, go ahead and check that out. Only one available. But let's take a look at some of the other coin designs that were inspired by William Wyan. And what am I talking about? In my nifty little coin boxes that I have here, we're taking a look at another modern reimagining of the Una and the Lion series, this time from the Royal Mint, and this is also part of the original Great Engravers series, but this is the Bullion version, the modern reimagining Bullion version of the Great Engravers series. And I wanted to pick up one of these because they are limited mintage of 4,000, I believe, maybe a total of 6,000. But only 4,000 available outside of the UK, something like that. And they were also going for bullion prices. So you could buy this for basically the cost of an average generic gold bar at the time when it came out. Now it's significantly higher, and I knew that would happen. So just because of the hype surrounding this series with the Una and the Lion. So I wanted to pick one up, whether to hold or to flip. Eventually, we'll find out. But here is the 10-ounce silver version of that same design, which I think is fantastic. I love these chunky bars from the Royal Mint. These are also very limited bars, so I wanted to pick up on that when I had the chance. Unfortunately, mine came with a little bit of a scuff there at the top, like it had been slammed with another bar. And well, not much you can do about that when you buy from bullion exchanges. They don't accept returns of any kind, unfortunately. So I was stuck with it. But it's not really a bad thing to be stuck with, to be honest. It's still done incredibly well, and it's just something you get from the Royal Mint. It's not necessarily the dealer's fault. Typically, the Royal Mint has epically poor quality control with a lot of their coins. This box was for this coin, so originally, and I have another box from the East India Company, also related to this release. I thought might do well. I don't typically keep it in the box. I just put it in here for this video, because it is quite a cool box, actually. But I bought the 1/4 ounce gold version of the 2020 Una and the Lion, and it's the same design. They just shrunk. They just kind of shrunk the design down from that to this, and this is the proof. I don't think they made a BU, so this is the only gold. And it has an extremely low mintage of I think 600 coins or 500 coins, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, 500 if I'm not mistaken. I removed it from the original capsule and put it in a direct fit capsule because I'm totally OCD about my direct fit capsules. As you can see, that was the original capsule. This is my preferred capsule because I don't typically keep things in oversized boxes. I want to keep them as nicely condensed as possible. So that is another piece of gold that I picked up within the Una and the Lion series. So we've taken a look at a good spectrum of various releases throughout the Una and the Lion series. I think we've covered the majority of what's out there. There are also even more. There's plenty more of versions that have been released from different quote unquote mints, or countries rather, like Alderney, like the one we show here. They have a whole array of different ones, and not only the Royal Mint, but the British Virgin Islands, and a number of others that I'm probably not even aware of. But they all seem to have, gone through a similar hype curve, hype cycle curve, and it's all pulled back just slightly since the series is not getting quite as much attention as it used to. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a roller coaster ride watching some of the secondary market sales on eBay for some of these coins. Like, when they initially came out, they were like a $48 coin at the time of their release in most dealers here in the States. But now, if you want to buy one of these raw, it's like you're gonna have to pay at least $100, if not 200. So that's pretty cool. So it's definitely nice to see that it's made quite a nice percentage increase return on investment. So one last thing, let's take a look at, in addition to my 10-ounce silver bar in capsule 5-pack and my Royal Mint got it in the assay coin bar box, I also have a new product to feature here. This gigantic box. This is a 5-pack for your Royal Mint Queen's Beast 10-ounce coins. I'm very excited to introduce this new product to my line of 3D printed coin storage solutions. And yeah, it's hot off the press, fresh new design, and will hold 5 of your 10-ounce Queen's Beasts or Tudor Beasts coins. So pick one up with the links down below. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos, and please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether or not you're collecting the Una and the Lion series. If you have, if you were aware of the hype surrounding these coins, or if this is the first time you've heard of it, and let me know down in the comments what you think. So we'll catch you on the next one. This is Count Stackula, over and out. Peace, y'all. Take care.